When you start a new business, you're going to get blown off course, but you don't quit. You don't go back home. You just take what you learn, you readjust, you plot a new course, you stay focused on your goals, and you keep going. The downfall of a lot of entrepreneurs that decide they want to do this, they quit too soon. You quit right before the big break.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews.
Hello, and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. It's Rick Nusky here. I am your host. I'm also very grateful for you being our audience. And today I am on the line with the wonderful Stuart Lowther. Now, Stuart is the president, CEO, and founder of Element Nutritional Sciences, and we're going to be talking about the genesis of that business and the research that goes into creating truly nutritional products and how you can get involved as a consumer or investor. So there's a lot for us to talk about, Stuart. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Yes,
How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. You and I were just talking about our travels and experiences, and I'd love to talk a little bit more about what you like to do with yourself. But first of all, where are you calling in from today?
I'm just outside Toronto, Canada.
Fantastic, and that's home base for you?
Yeah, it's home base for us. Yep.
Fantastic. Now, Canada is a beautiful place. Now, do you spend much time there, or you're a busy man getting around town?
Well, I spend a majority of my time here, but when I can travel, I try to get out of here. And some COVID restrictions have been lifted, so I've been getting some business travel in the last couple of months, and a bit of kind of fun social travel mixed in with it all. So
excellent.
It's good to kind of break away and get out from being stuck in one place for a long period of time.
Well, it's nice to know that somebody as busy as yourself and senior in the organization is having some time to himself. What do you actually like doing with yourself, Stuart? What's your recreation time look like?
My recreation time? I hang out at my office. You know what? I live in a small circle of life. My office is 5 minutes from my house. I live down the street from a golf course where I'm a member. So in the summer times, I spend lots of time there. In the winter, I'm a skier. So my entire kids have all been brought up skiing. So I'll go north and ski when I get time. And that's mostly it. Besides, I have a home gym. I jump on my Peloton and work out every morning before the office.
Very good.
So I can keep healthy.
Yep.
And then, I love what I do. My office is my second home. So I have a TV in here and there's a kitchen in here, and I can hang out here and work away as long as I want.
Well, that's excellent. Now tell me something. Are you a very good golfer?
My handicap sits around a 13. So I shoot anywhere between, call it 80 and even 90. 80 and 90 on any given day.
That's really, really good. My handicap is golf.
So that's a long girl's handicap.
Go ahead.
People say, when you say, you shoot like 82, they go, "Oh, you're a good golfer." I go, "No, I'm not. If I was good, I'd be on TV."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a marked difference, isn't it? Now, I love to give the audience some context. By the way, Stuart, we have entrepreneurs and small business owners, investors who listen into the show, love this sort of conversation. But to give context, I'd love to wind back time and learn a little bit about some childhood experiences that you might remember, positive ones. Do you remember growing up? Where were you? And what was one of the most outstanding memories that you have of that time?
Oh, me growing up?
Yeah.
What decade? I tell people I'm not grown up yet. I got to be honest. I come from a tough background. I wasn't brought up in any kind of special area. I tell people I grew up in mostly poverty in a small neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's relevant.
most of what I do today is just, I tell people I don't know, for some reason, I just got myself on a track as a younger person and, just somehow evolved to get to where I am.
To get to where you are. Do you think that those early lessons obviously have helped hone you to become the man that you are today?
Here, I'll tell you one lesson that I think I always say has probably given me an advantage. So I was brought up from the age of 4 to 14 in a very religious background,
Mm.
and a religion that I won't name, but
Hmm.
they tend to go out and knock on doors. And, so as a young boy, I would knock on people's doors and like preaching. And I was like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I would do Bible discourses and stand up in front of an audience of 80 to 100 people and public speak.
Yep.
So those skills I learned back then, I think that's what allows me to pick up the phone and call anybody. Like, I don't hesitate to go, yeah, you know what? I want to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I'll call that person.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll I have no problem meeting people, talking to people. I can get up and talk in front of 1,000 people. I can pick up the phone and call somebody, and it doesn't even faze me.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
a
think
skill, isn't it?
part of that might have come from the skills I learned doing that when I was a kid, even though
Yeah.
it's not part of my life. It's not part of my life at all anymore, like at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I gathered those skills as a kid doing that, and I think that helps me today.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful feedback because it frames, the story today about where you are exactly. And along that path, I think we all meet someone somewhere along the line who really has an impact on our way of thinking. Has there ever been somebody like that? Call them a mentor, if you will, in your life that's helped you along the way, do you think?
As a younger individual, I had my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
who unfortunately passed away at an early age of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
but he had an impact, and he always said the right tools for the right job, and I still say that today. So I'd say, he made an impression on me, and then I've got, somebody who's good 15 to 20 years my senior, who's actually on my board now, called Greg Cochran.
Yep.
So he's been a good, kind of advisor, mentor for the last, I'd say, like 15 years,
Yep.
that I can bounce stuff off. So I'd say between early days, my grandfather, and then in the modern times, Greg's been a good, I'd say, mentor and support network for me.
Yeah, that's great. It's all leading to a point, this conversation. I'm wondering, do you value education, ongoing education, and how do you learn best, do you think? Books, videos? What do you do?
Uh, I went back to school when I was 28. So hadn't been to university.
Mm-hmm.
So between high school and 28, I built houses, I landscaped, I sold cars, I built cars. I was Honda of Japan. I was their 50th employee ever hired here in Canada for their new manufacturing plant they built about 2 hours away from where I am now.
Oh, wow.
So I learned the Japanese way,
Yep.
like early days. And then I left all that to pursue my passion, decided I'd go back to school and study nutrition. So I did. Did an honors degree in nutritional sciences, then a master's degree in nutrition, human metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of going to med school, I wanted to find a way to combine science and business. And here I am.
Here you are today. Wow, what an amazing story. What an amazing journey. Now, you're a seasoned entrepreneur. Now, I know that you've been involved in a $40 million exit buyout with a vitamin gummy company. I was wondering if you could share that experience.
Well, I'd helped build a couple other pretty successful companies and
Mm.
worked in international markets as well. And then I saw the opportunity in the gummy space. So actually, it wasn't actually the gummy space. I actually quit my job to start my last company, and I took out a $127,000 line of credit against my house at the time, and started Life Science Nutritionals. And then initially I was building products for kids, and I ran into a few roadblocks just in product development, the market, cost. One of the products I developed was actually ahead of its time,
Mm-hmm.
and people weren't willing to pay the premium price for high-end nutrition at that time. So I ended up, through my experience, venturing into the gummy space, and then built that company up in the gummy vitamin space. I was the first manufacturer and developer of gummy-based vitamins in Canada, and at that time, one of only 3 in North America.
Wow.
So I built that up from scratch, and then exited that in 2015, then turned around and started this.
Yeah, wow, that's an amazing story. Now, in all of that, as a human being, there would have been some thoughts and feelings and some risks that you needed to expose yourself to. How did you feel about, taking that line of credit and putting yourself out there to follow this dream, call it?
Well, I can tell you my wife didn't like it. Um,
Surprise, surprise.
you know what? I think the biggest thing is that you believe in yourself
Yeah.
and you believe in your vision,
Hmm.
and then and you just can't. I always give this example to people. You pretend you're an airline pilot. You leave San Francisco to fly to Hawaii, and the wind blows you off course. Do you fly back to San Francisco and plot a new course? No. You
No.
adjust your course. You still set your sights on Hawaii. Eventually, you land in Hawaii. So when you start a new business, you're going to get blown off course. But you don't quit. You don't go back home. You just take what you learn, you readjust, you plot a new course, you stay focused on your goals, and you keep going. And I think a downfall of a lot of entrepreneurs that decide they want to like do this,
Hmm.
they quit too soon.
Yeah.
Like people quit too soon. You
Yeah.
quit right before the big break because you get too afraid. It does get tough. And there's times where you're just like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna go get a job. I'm gonna pull the plug. And they walk away. So, not for the faint of heart, but
Mm.
the biggest thing is believe in your vision. And for myself, when I went out on my own, I gathered a lot of experience. So I had that behind me. And then I just knew what I was doing. And I
Yeah.
just stuck with it.
Sage advice, sage insights, and I really do appreciate that explanation. Thank you very much, Stuart. Now, I know that we've got a lot to talk about, lots of different directions, but with regard to your main organisation, Element Nutritional Sciences, what are some of the brands? I know that there's more than just one brand inside there. I was wondering if we could maybe talk about that a little bit.
Well, our flagship brand is Rejuvenate, um, which is built on some significant IP that was built out of University of Arkansas.
Hmm.
So it's patented IP that we own the global rights to. And I've taken that and built out the Rejuvenate brand. So that brand is targeted at the 45 plus market. We're clinically proven to increase muscle protein synthesis. It's patented. We got another patent in process. And the aging demographic and maintaining muscle health or your muscle mass as you age is a really key component to living a healthy, active lifestyle as you age.
Yeah.
So that's a great, piece of the market. And, we've entered into that. We're doing really well. Lots of great stuff coming down the pipe. But we also have a second brand, which is in the sports nutrition market. And it's the same thing in sports nutrition. If you're an athlete and you want to strength train and gain lean muscle mass, or let's say you're an injured athlete and you want to limit muscle loss if you have a disabled limb or you have to rest. We've shown with our formulation that we can increase muscle protein synthesis by 76% at rest. So we can help slow what's called muscle atrophy if you're injured.
Yep.
So there's a big, huge market in the sports area. So ourselves, a company, we're just about to launch a new product called Promino, which is the patented formulation built out at a specific concentration for athletes.
Hmm.
So that starts coming to market in the next 60 days.
Very exciting.
Looking forward to that.
Yep.
And then as we grow the business out, I mentioned that the 76% increase, we're going to enter markets like oncology.
Hmm.
We know that it's very evident that cancer patients have what's called severe cachexia, which is muscle wasting accompanied by organ wasting.
Yeah.
So we're highly confident that we can help slow muscle loss in cancer patients and increase patient outcomes. As well as that, we can go into orthopedics and do pre and post surgery and help speed recovery for people having like hip replacement, knee replacement surgery. So there's that whole avenue, as well as entering into like long-term care, retirement homes, the whole institutional side of the market. So, lots of stuff for us to do, no short of ideas.
Yeah.
We're going to create brands to go along with that as we grow it out.
Yep.
But our big focus right now is Rejuvenate and driving our revenues and building our strength as we grow. And as we get stronger and grow up a little bit, we'll branch out into the other market areas.
Love this story. It's great. Thank you very much for sharing. Now, I know that patents are not something that fall out of the sky. They take a long time to come to fruition. And it's funny because at the end of the day, the end customer just sees possibly a pill in a bottle, don't they? Really, for the most part. But tell us the R&D that actually goes into these products so people really have a good appreciation of the work behind this product or these products.
Well, one of the things that is unique to us, and as I mentioned earlier, I come from a pure science research background.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people I'm a science geek that got his MBA from Street Smart University.
Yep.
So, I'm fortunate for my background. I was familiar with Dr. Robert Wolf and his research out of Arkansas. Even when I was in grad school, I was reading it. So I was familiar with the whole amino acid blend and all the research from my work. So, when they came to me and said, hey, we have this new patented technology we want your help with to bring to market, Dr. Wolf had done most of the work. So over the period of 17 years, they spent about $20 million in R&D.
Wow.
Most of that came from grants
Mm-hmm.
from the National Institute of Health, which is a government-funded agency in the United States.
Yep.
So he did all the groundwork and built it out, and then we've stepped in and taken it from there and taken it to market. And for the most part, for a guy who hung out for a few years in research labs in universities,
Mm-hmm.
no offense to academics, but most of them don't know how to take a product and take it to market.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fortunate that I am an academic, but for some reason I've found a niche.
Transitioned.
I'm able to take something and turn it into a marketable product and bring it to market. And then at the same time, I'm lucky enough, I've got behind the wall behind me, I've got a great team.
Yeah,
Of really
fantastic.
experienced people that know how to execute and they know the industry. So it makes my life a whole lot easier.
So you talked about the demographics. You know who your market is. You know their age groups. You know a lot about them. You obviously have to. I wonder, and given that you are a business and it's out there and that people can invest in it and all the rest of it, I wonder, what does the marketing processes look like for you? Do you have a team that does that for you? How does that work?
Well, I have two brand managers in house. I've
Mm-hmm.
got my head of marketing is Vito Sansoon, who's a very tenured, experienced person.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a multi-pronged approach to the market. We use all social media. We also use direct-to-consumer marketing as well, which also includes doing like TV advertising.
Yep.
So all our brand messaging has been evolved over time. We did some market surveys in the United States of 1,001 consumers and about 4 years ago before we even launched to find out what consumers were thinking. And then we're always evolving. Like right now, we've got some steady work going on here. We're constantly looking at ways to involve our messaging, reanalyzing. It's kind of like fail forward.
Yeah.
You go forward for a little while. You look for your mistakes because they'll tell you what you're doing right or wrong. But it's easy to do stuff right. But when you do stuff wrong, you learn from it. You can adjust, which then makes you even better at doing the right things. So the simple fact that I've got these experienced people behind me, we know the drill. Nobody ever builds a company without making mistakes. And I can see ours already. I know the mistakes we've made, but we learn from, you adjust, and you keep moving forward. It's kind of like flying to Hawaii, right?
Yeah,
We made
absolutely.
mistakes, but we're still going to Hawaii. The beach is waiting for us.
Absolutely. I wonder, Stuart, what do you learn from success and how do you experience success? And do you give yourself time to feel it, I guess?
My friends tell me that I'm guilty of not celebrating enough.
Mm.
But, I just, I'm
On the
trying
go.
to take more time outs.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, it's really like people say I work too much, but I tell people that I'm retired because retirement is when you get to get up every day and do what you want. I get up every day and I literally do what I want.
Do what you want.
So,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm retired, but I'm not.
You got to keep busy, don't you? I think as human beings, we're goal setters. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to like maybe golf a little bit more, and I've got I have a little birthday vacation coming up. I'm gonna take something I planned almost a year ago.
Very good.
So
Make
I
sure
will
you
be
take it.
I will be floating on a catamaran in the British Virgin Islands for 7 days,
Oh, goodness me. Hard life.
and I'll be offline. I'll be offline for 7 days.
Yeah, well, look, I was going to ask you about that. How important is rest and recuperation at any stretch? A couple of days here and there. Do you give yourself that time?
Uh, Yeah, but I'm usually always plugged in.
Mm.
I don't. The last time I unplugged, I was in South Africa. It's not South Africa. I was in is it Kenya or Tanzania with my daughters a number of years ago, and I was offline for 11 straight days.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
no email, no text messaging, like nothing, just off the grid. Um, but if you plan for it, it's healthy and it's good for you. But if you have, once again, it comes back to people. I always say people are your most valuable asset.
Mm.
So if you've got the right people behind you and you set it up properly, you can check out for 11 days and just take yourself off the grid, experience something new. You come back refreshed.
Ready to go.
When you know what, you get ideas when you do that stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's creative, and good creative thought is good for you. And if you're too much in the grind
Yep.
and you don't take those breaks, it actually, stymies a creative thought. So you need it for creative thought.
Yeah, fantastic feedback. Thank you. I wonder, in terms of disruption, what are you guys doing differently, do you think, than your competitors? And are you observing what your competitors are doing? And is that important?
Um, I'm always observing what my competitors are doing.
Mm.
I'm always checking their websites. I've got them on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I have at 6:30 every morning. I'm usually drinking a coffee and I'm scanning at Instagram and seeing what posts are going on.
Yep.
But what we're doing, our biggest point of differentiation is that we've brought a product to market that has true clinical efficacy.
Mm-hmm.
And in our market, the 45 plus market, nobody has what we have. Nobody has a product that's proven to help improve muscle health and slow muscle loss as you age.
Yep.
So we have something that's dynamic. It's patented. We got a second patent pending. So I really think the world's our oyster, and it's just a matter of being smart and executing. We've got the right team to execute on. And I think that, we probably have competitors out there that we've been out there, we've been on TV. So it's not like they don't know we're coming.
Yeah.
And no, we're going to be bold and powerful. We're not going to sit back and hide.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to step out there and going to get even more bolder this year.
Yep.
And push the envelope.
It's a very invigorating conversation. I'm sitting here feeling a little more animated about what's going on in your business, and I really do appreciate it. Now, where are people likely to find the distribution points? Where are they going to find these products?
Well, right now in the United States, we're coast to coast with Walgreens and CVS.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the two largest drug retailers in the United States. We just started on shelf or in store with Sam's Club. So Sam's Club is Walmart's big box store, like Costco.
Yep.
Except it's owned by Walmart. So we're now coast to coast across the United States with Sam's Club.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're in conversation with a number of other retailers to expand that distribution over the next 12 months. And then here in Canada, we're once again with the top retailers. We're with Loblaws, which is our largest grocery network in Canada. We're Shoppers Drug Mart, largest drug chain in Canada, which are Shoppers Drug Mart is owned by Loblaws now, but they still kind of run separately.
Yep.
And then the second largest drug chain is Rexall. We're with them as well. And then we're still with some of the smaller grocery chains and keep expanding that. So, we're almost a little over 17,000 points of distribution now and growing across North America, which is great. And then as we grow things out, we've got a lot of experience distributing to foreign markets. Australia is one of our targets. But we will be coming your way eventually in the next couple of years.
Fantastic.
As well as, Europe, starting with the UK. That's where I was just there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll expand our distribution network into foreign markets over the next 5 years as well.
So tell us, are you an investor in your organization? And I guess what's that side look like?
I'm the founder and I funded it. So I am the largest shareholder and I'm the founder. I funded this company with proceeds from my last company I built and sold. So I always tell people that I'm all in.
Oh, you're all in? Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's good for context for people who don't know, because they may not know that. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah. You know what? This thing was, my brainchild. I'll be here for a while, not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere just yet.
No, I'm not. You know what? I'll turn 58 next month, but No, I got lots of legs. I mean, this company has lots of legs and a great pipeline. So, and it's lots of fun. So,
Yeah.
nope, gonna hang out here, have some fun, and build this thing.
Tell me about the team. We need to hear about the team. Who have you got working in your wonderful team?
I'll try to keep it short, but
It's quite extensive, I'm sure.
so I have Stephen Brown here, who's my chief operations officer.
Mm-hmm.
He actually worked with me. We worked together way back in early 2000s, helping build a company that's now called Innovate Health Sciences. So I was there from about 40 million in revenue to about 220 million in revenue. And I headed up all brand development, R&D, patent work, tons of stuff. Young company at the time.
Yep.
And then he was there until about 650 million in revenue, managing over 250 SKUs, global supply chain, had 150 employees in his department.
Yep.
And he managed over 30 contract manufacturers in North America. So seasoned veteran, knows the drill, great track record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing this guy can't do in product development, sourcing ingredients and manufacturers. So he's awesome. And he's also a shareholder, so he's completely vested.
Yep.
And then I brought on Dean Pfeiffer as my head of sales, my CMO, about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, he worked with Steve and I at Innovate as well. He was salesman number one at that company. So he was there when they had zero sales, and he was there to 750 million in revenue.
Oh, wow.
So he knows food, drug, mass, and e-commerce right across North America. He also oversaw international distribution in a number of countries as well. So another tenured veteran.
Heavy
The
hitter.
three of us all worked together, building that other company.
Mm-hmm.
Had lots of fun doing it. So we know the drill. And now I'm fortunate enough that after all this time, I have them all back under the same roof. And then I brought on Vito, I'd say 10 weeks ago. I'm guesstimating, but close to that.
Yep.
And I searched him out, and he actually had worked at Innovate too for a couple of years, helped take them from 400 million to over 700 million, building out some brand lines, doing some rebranding, overseeing all their marketing efforts. So I got him on board now as well, which is great. So, you know, between the four of us, we've built billions of dollars in revenue in North America and globally over our careers. So it's great. We're seamless. We get together for executive meetings, and it's just four guys hanging out going, yep, this is what we got to do next. Let's do this. We have constructive conversations. Sometimes we argue for fun because it's great to argue about stuff because it's creative.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's great. You know what? I'm really lucky that, you know, I've been able to stay in contact with these people, and I've never burned bridges, and I'm fortunate that people like to work with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Look,
besides that, you know, it's good.
This has been a great conversation. Really, really enjoyed it. Now, because we're getting near the pointy end of the call, Stuart, I'm wondering if we can share what the company's ticker symbol is, please.
Our ticker symbol in Canada is ELMT on the Canadian Stock Exchange. So it's elmt.cn. If you're trading in the United States, right now we're on the OTC pink sheet, working on moving to our OTC QB listing, which we hope to have very soon. And that is, I always got to stop and think about it because they changed it. It's ELNSF. So
Right.
Element Nutritional Sciences. So ELNSF is our U.S. trading symbol. And we are on the Frankfurt exchange, working on getting our symbol over there changed because it's a number symbol.
Yep.
And in Frankfurt, we are NSX.F.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, also, there will be people out there listening to today's call, Stuart, and they want to learn more. Where can they, I guess, do that? Is there somewhere online that you can send them?
Yep, definitely. If you go to ELMT Inc., so that stands for Element Nutritional Sciences Incorporated, so elmtinc.com, you'll see our investor presentation. Everything about our company is all up there. You want to learn more about our products directly, there's links from there to our brands. But you can also go to rejuvenate.com or .ca or jackedrx.com. You'll see all our brands there. But if you go to the ELMT Inc. website, you have everything you need right there, plus links to our brands and all that information as well. So it's a one-stop shop.
That's fantastic. So I'll be providing the elmtinc.com URL for you to branch out and learn what you would like to learn about being a consumer and or investor. Stuart, this has been an incredible call. Thank you so very much for joining me on the My Future Business show today.
All right. Thanks very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.